Alright, DB4 here, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to BAR, Beyond All Reason. We are here for yet another glorious episode. Let's get it. Oh man, I just had to get some more bar content in. Now, what I decided to do, ever since we did the live stream event with BAR as a part of that event, and we started putting out some DB forecasts where we were shoutcasting the bar game, I thought it'd be dope to start up a little mini series to kind of explain a lot more about this game to the newer fans and people on the channel who haven't seen RTSs before. So what we're going to do, we're going to start a little mini series in a single player with the scenarios. I think the scenarios in this game is real dope. It's actually would help me learn the game significantly. I learned a lot about the game playing the scenarios when I first played. So I'm going to do a small series, just one scenario per episode. Now this is going to serve as a tutorial, also as like a pseudo story mode, because they do have some story tidbits in there. So we're going to check this out and see how it plays out. So without further ado, now let's jump right into some gameplay. Now, I did do some of this stuff live on stream during the live stream event, but since this is a standalone series, we are going to start from scratch. We are going to start with Fortress Assault. All right, let's get it. An abandoned enemy base lies nearby. Though its defenses still work, destroy it, Commander. All right, let's get it. We got to kill all the enemy factories in this area. You know, if we lose all of our builders in our factories, we lose. Difficulty of this is like 0. Estimated time 20 minutes. Estimated resources about 10k metal. All right, we're in real quick. There's a few things I want to take note of that's very important. We have at the top of the screen, we have our power and we have our metal, and we have the amount of wind that this map generates. Now the wind fluctuates, but you know, it's going to be consistent on most maps. Let's put down metal. First thing, we're going to put down 3 metal extractors. Now you can place these one at a time, but what I did is I queued up a command to place multiple structures one after another. If you hold shift, you can queue up commands, like he'll place this metal extractor and then he'll place that one. After the 3rd metal extractor, I actually want him to place down some power. We could go with wind generation or we could go with solar energy. I'm going to decide to go with solar energy. So I'll just place 2 solars right here. One there, and then I'll hold shift to place one there. Now these solars do cost more metal than the wind generators, but they don't cost any energy. So we'll go with the 2 solars and we'll get some wind energy a little bit later. Now the next thing I want to do, I want to get this last metal extractor right now. And right after we get that, we want to place down a bot lab. Now this is a tier 1 bot lab. It allows us to produce tier 1. All right, now that we got the bot lab, I'm actually going to queue up some wind generation in the rear here. We're going to queue up just about, I'm going to hold shift and drag it, and he's going to give me 5 wind generators right there. Then after he do that, I want him to create these items right here. These are energy converters. It converts 70 energy into 1 metal per second. That's going to increase the amount of metal we get. So far, we're getting metal 9. I want at least 12. So we're going to get 3 of these. Now that we have our bot base, I want to build the construction bot to help us with construction. Let's build 1 construction bot. And we're also going to build 1 tick for scouting. These are scouts. And I can build 1 fast infantry bot upon just to show what it does. These pawns is just your basic infantry. These are a little bit more powerful. The Rocketeers and the Plasma Troops and the Centurions, the anti-swarm bot. Then you got your crossbows, the anti-air. Now we are wasting energy. You don't really never want to be wasting energy. So it's a good time to always spend your energy, because if you get overflow, it'll basically go to waste. And if you don't have a teammate, nobody will use it. Now the first thing I want to do, as soon as we get this construction bot out, we could help it. We can tell it to help produce this unit, so these units come out faster. It's always a great thing to do. Now wind is real low here, but I also want to get a construction turret. Now what this does is anything in this radius, this turret is going to help build that building or whatever it's building, whether it's units or buildings. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to produce another stack of wind. Now, this is the basics of your start. You want to get metal, you want to get energy, and you want to get military. Once you got these three things, you want to start building build power or construction. Basically, each construction bot has a certain amount of build power. This one has 80. Each turret has a certain amount of build power. This one has 20. And each, you know, this commander can construct stuff too. He has 300 build power. You can see right there. Now, what that means is that's how fast that unit or turret can build things. You want to keep this wind coming. So I usually like to go with at least 5. So that's the third one. This is just my personal build that I find to make it easier for me to transfer into the next tier. That's the 4th row. I go with 5 rows of wind generation. That's the standard for me on almost every map. I usually don't build more than that. Unless it's a lot of wind, then I'll build a lot more than that. And then we'll go into other tiers of wind later. Now, after we get the 5 wind gen, I actually want a lot more metal conversion. So let's build 5 of these. We got 5 rows of wind pumping out. Now we're getting 5 of these. Now, what I also want this guy to do, since we're getting a lot more wind, I want to build some storage. So let's get some storage down here because we don't want to waste the amount of energy we're producing. So what we're going to do is build some storage to increase the amount we can store. Now we're at the 5-minute mark. I do want to speed this up a bit. Now what we're going to do with our scout, we're going to send our scout out and just scout and see what's out there. Just run to the other side of the map and run back. Now the way I'm doing that is I'm giving them a command, but I'm holding shift to queue up several different commands, one after another. Now this is 25 wind generators. That's a decent amount for starters. Now we're going to get this wind conversion. This is an extra 5 metal being converted. Let's get another 5. Our scout got taken out right at the borders. Now we can see that there's a ton of defense here. They got long range, 3-pronged turrets. They got double beam turrets and the light laser towers. So that's going to be tough to get by. All right, now that we have this extra storage and we're wasting metal now, so let's build metal storage. A way to store extra metal. All right, now before we go into the next tier, I'm gonna show y'all the next tier. We're gonna create another construction turret. We're gonna create another bot, construction bot. We're gonna create another row of energy conversion. That'll be 15 altogether, 15 extra. Now that is a lot, believe it or not. That's a lot of energy conversion because you usually want to get your metal through upgrading your extractors and reclaiming wreckages on the field. But since we are going to be stuck in this little area for a little while, we are going to actually just convert exactly 15 metal. Now we can have these guys help him out as well. All right, now we got our 15 energy being converted. If we put this to 100%, that'll be 15 energy per second plus the metal that we already have. Now it's time to start thinking about upgrading. Before we do that, though, we're going to actually build one more build turret. I like to have at least 4. 4 build construction turrets puts us in a decent spot. All right, now that we have all 4 construction turrets, the next thing I want to do is build an advanced bot lab. This is the tier 2 infantry lab. Let's build it. Now we can also make these bots help each other. Like everybody help that one bot. Now whatever he does, everybody will do, and it'll build way quicker. Now as you can see, we're struggling on power for this thing right here, but it'll get there eventually, and we do have the necessary metal, so we should be good. Just gotta wait for the power to be generated. It's good to not build anything while you're trying to build buildings that are this resource intensive. It'll make sure to go by faster. Now what we're going to do, we're going to knock these turrets down with just the Rocketeers. Now we can't see them, so we'll have to send this bot in. Ah, you see he was firing at the wreckers. Well, we're going to have to move closer just for the simple fact we can't see it. Now that's a valuable lesson in recon. The reason why we couldn't fire at our maximum range because we didn't have recon. Same exact strategy, same unit composition, but this time I'm gonna send a recon bot with them. Now just move forward, and they can just go here and just stand right there. Let's see if they can take the turrets out like that. Now in the meantime, I definitely want to level up this area here, so let's build a tier 2 construction bot real quick. Good. Now that we got the tier 2 construction bot, I want to upgrade this to an advanced metal extractor. I'm going to give him the order to upgrade all of these one after another. I don't want to move any closer. It's going to actually destroy our vehicles. So let's get this built, and then we'll build our military to take out all the units on the map. Now, once we get the advanced metal extractors up, the next thing you want to do is get some tier 2 power going. Now that we did that, the next thing we could do, we could go advanced energy conversion. Now, this converts 600 energy into 10.3 metal per second. We're going to get one of those. And since we're so low on power, we're probably not even going to be able to get this building up no time soon. So another good thing to do is extend our power grid. Because look, wind has went down significantly. It's not about the metal right now. We just so low on wind. We're not even producing enough wind to make this work. So every now and then you got to fluctuate the amount of wind that you're putting into building versus how much you're putting into actually getting an upgrade. So what we're going to do, we're going to divert a lot of power from this and build more wind generation, because even though it's low, we'll pump out more of it. Pivot into building a wind generation. Now, in a normal game, I would have all of these things running simultaneously. I'll be doing wind generation, conversion, build power, units, all at the same time, never stopping any one until the end of the game. That's typically what you want to do in these RTS games. You want to constantly be building units, expanding your base, expanding your resources, and fighting the battle on the front line with your micro and your army. All right, now that we got that done, we can actually tell them to switch to that. We should have more than enough. See, look, it's built in 20 seconds now. Now that we have the energy and the money for it, the metal, now that should be good enough to transfer enough metal to build some units. Let's start building some siege units. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to tell it to build a recluse, and I'm going to put a repeat command on. That means it's never going to stop building that unit, and it's going to always keep building it until I tell it to stop. So let's do that. And I'm going to have all of these units kind of rallying on this one guy. And speaking of that, I'm also going to take some guys that do some healing. So yep, some repair bots. Let's have them following this guy. Again, we having power issues because power keep going low. I want to save up enough money to build the fusion, so we're going to stop building units real quick. All right, now that this is cleaned up, we need to wait for our radar anyway. All right, we got more than enough power and energy to build fusion. Let's build some fusion. Fusion is the next tier of power. There we go. Build the fusion generator. Fusion reactor. Then we can build the advanced fusion reactor as well. That's tier 3. But for now, we'll just go with the tier 2. Regular fusion reactor. Also, at a time like this, we want a lot more build power than this. So if I say about 4 turrets is good for stage 1, 8 turrets, double that'd be good for stage 2. That'll get you a decent amount of build power on this front. All right, according to the radar, there's a bunch of stuff over here. Yep. All right, now that we got the fusion, now we can build infinite units. Now, once you do get your fusion online, you can start getting more energy conversion, because the more energy you have, you want to convert energy more efficiently. So let's do that. Now it's a good time, once you do that, to start stacking a lot more power. So we'll get 4 generators. Now we queued all of this up. Now that should take care of our macro for a while. Now we can worry about micro in this army. This is more than enough to start this party. All right, we need to wait for that radar bot. We absolutely do. Yeah, these dudes don't shoot at their maximum range without the radar bots either. So, all right, let's move through. Now we could barely see what we're shooting at, which is a problem. If we had our radar here, we wouldn't have this issue. All right, that's a lot better. Now that the radar is pulled up, we could actually see. And as long as we got radar, it's about as simple as spreading this line of spiders out. And we'll take this entire map out. Clean sweep.
T2 unit detected.
And there we have it, folks. All right, and there we go. That's the very first scenario, Fortress Assault. Now, with that being said, make sure you follow me on Twitter. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like the video, share the video. Make sure you tune into the DB forecast. And with that being said, it's your boy DB4, and I'm out. Peace.